I got the article pulled up, but we'll just let this guy talk. He talks like this is big breaking news. Very monotone, but I could have shown the article. Why reinvent the wheel? He did his work. I'm gonna have to hand it to him, Patrick Humphreys. So big thumbs up. We're just gonna watch it. Drone attack. The government's saying, "Oh yeah, oh no, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? It could be a massive drone attack, wide scale, over here, over there, infrastructure, stadiums, whatever. And it's from a foreign country, right? Another country. Yeah, okay. It's not like we don't have the enemies within, right? We don't have the commies within that hate this country, right? Just like fake news, just like the libtards, just like these invaders that were allowed to come in mass over the last 4 years under Beijing Joe Biden's watch, right? We don't have the enemy within. It's going to be some other country. Somehow, I think not. Let's take a look. Drone attacks, swarms, in swarms. Let's take a look.
This is big breaking news.
And it is.
The National Guard is now preparing for a devastating attack on the United States. They're now warning and getting ready that we could see attacks from drones on major events, sporting events, potentially even the World Cup that's going to be hosted inside of the United States.
Yeah, I'm sure this has nothing to do with locking us down and more boots on the ground and martial law, right? Nothing to do with it. Just like we're seeing this, the DC shooting 2 National Guard, right? Supposedly by Afghani, right? That's as the story goes, and more military on the ground, more boots on the ground, and pretty sure a lockdown coming down. Oh wait, what's this? What is he about to say?
So let's get into all the details here. You guys can see it says the National Guard rehearses stopping drone attacks at the World Cup. All right, this is very concerning, especially considering what we saw this past week with this attack on National Guard members. We will get into more details of that. Some more information is coming out, exactly what happened and who these people were. But you can see here, I wanted to get into this because this is concerning. It says here the Washington National Guard simulated drone attacks on Seattle's Lumen Field earlier this month in an exercise that put the 2026 FIFA World Cup center stage. The November 5th rehearsals, part of the Counter Unmanned Aerial Systems Summit, were hosted by Major General Gent Welsh, Washington's Adjutant General and Homeland Security Advisor. Exactly what happened and who these people were. But you can see here, I wanted to get into this because this is concerning. It says here the Washington National Guard simulated drone attacks on Seattle's Lumen Field earlier this month.
I love how they do their simulations, just like they did their scamdemic simulation, right? They do their little simulations, and then all of a sudden, whoopsie-daisy, now we have a scamdemic. Remember COVID? They did Event 201 like November of 2019, and all of a sudden we had Conjob 1984 by February, right? Remember that? They do the simulation, then their bullshit happens, right? Fake virus in 2020. You sheeple out there, most of you are sheeple out there, fell for it. To this day, I still see you muzzled up. I seen a couple, where were we? Walmart tonight. Walmart, muzzled up. You imagine that? So they do the simulation just like here with the drone attacks, and then voila, the drone attack happens. Funny how that works, isn't it? But it's them, right? It's some other country, right? Some enemy, right? Martin Short did a skit. Used to have a character on Saturday Night Live, and in the middle of the skit, he'll go, "Is it me or is it them? It's them, right? Yeah, it is them. It's them." Meaning the enemy within.
In an exercise that put the 2026 FIFA World Cup center stage. The November 5th rehearsals, part of the Counter Unmanned Aerial Systems Summit, were hosted by Major General Gent Welsh, Washington's Adjutant General and Homeland Security Advisor. It says here the summit's key event was a tabletop exercise that simulated an array of drone attacks, one against Lumen Field during a World Cup match, and 2 more against critical infrastructure. The simulations explored possible drone attack sites, tactics attackers could use and tested interagency cooperation in response to evolving threats. Quote, if you think about where the world was on September 10th, we are at a very similar place, Welsh said in a release, adding that the troubling findings of the 9/11 Commission report served as motivation for organizing the summit. Okay, so that's what a top U.S. National Guard general, Major General, is warning of right now. He's saying he feels like this is right before a 9/11 attack.
Yeah, a 9/11 attack. 9/11 attack, yeah, right? Osama bin Laden, some frail SOB, Middle Eastern, in a cave somewhere from third world country, orchestrated all that, right? You buying that still? It's 2025. Hello? You still buying that? I'm not talking to you, bitch shoot. I'm talking to the normies out there who still who still believe the narrative from mainstream, lamestream, and the gooberman.
When you put this in coordination with what we just saw and what's going on, we could see more of this, right? And I'm sure things like this are already being planned behind the scenes.
Planned, of course.
And that's part of the reason they are preparing for these things.
Yeah.
Right? Quote, that report talked about red flags that popped up prior to 9/11, and now we have seen what is happening across the globe.
Yeah, 9/11, that wasn't an inside job, was it?
In the end, the exercise exposed responders to numerous, quote, obstacles to accomplishing a unified response, including, quote, limited authorities across various levels of government, gaps in resources and barriers embedded in current policy and legal frameworks. The exercises made clear that actionable solutions to drone threats are needed across the board, the release stated. Quote, we have a lot of people talking about the problem from different angles, but we are talking past each other, Welsh said. I am glad we finally got everything together and we can walk through the problem. It says here, National Guard units across different states regularly hold tabletop exercises to prepare for emergencies and disasters such as floods and hurricanes. Simulations are used to establish clear lines of communications between the guards and interagency partners, streamline command and control, and establish areas of responsibility to ensure efficient responses to disaster situations. Next year's FIFA World Cup will see soccer matches held in 11 metropolitan stadiums across the United States, which will host games along with Canada and Mexico. Okay, so this is actually happening next year. 11 different states, or 11 different stadiums in multiple different states and major metro areas. And they're also warning of attacks against critical infrastructure as well too. These drone attacks are becoming more integrated in things like war, and also part of these groups and these terror networks potentially that want to cause chaos as well. They've been integrating drone technology.
Yeah, the terror networks. You know what we call it? The gooberman.
Step up to a world-class leader.
Releases from aircraft, right?
Biological releases from aircraft. They're going to try to do another scamdemic and blame it on drones.
That they are
from an enemy.
Preparing for and worried about. And you don't need to be scared, but you should be prepared. You should be ready. Because if something like this does happen,
they want to just get rid of us.
We're going to see lockdowns. We're going to see potentially like martial law scenarios, at least in sections of the country. And we're already kind of seeing this right now. We're seeing a major military response, more National Guard being deployed after this attack. And if something big like this happens, then they might have to just really lock things down, especially in one of these big cities.
They like this. What they want to do, they want another heaping helping.
Seattle.
Any way they can get it. Any way they can lock us down. Whether it's a scamdemic, whether it's the bird flu, they tried that. That didn't work. Monkeypox, they tried that. That didn't work. Right? None of that worked, except for the scamdemic initially in 2020. So now they're looking for different ways to lock us down. And if they have to cause some kind of huge mass casualty event and knock out infrastructure here, maybe a couple water dams, maybe the lights go out, shut off our water, a lot of people die to make it look real, like it was real authentic attack from another entity, a country or whatever. That's what they'll do. But don't kid yourself. This same government that locked us down, the same government that fear-mongered constantly, right? Constantly allows these moiterers like Fraudchi and Bill Gates to get away with actual murder. And the Center for Disease Creation with the vaccines, right, under the guise of a virus. Government allowed all that, all right? They were in on it. They were pushing the vaccines and shit. So you don't think they want another heaping helping of martial law and decreasing our population? You best think again. Oh yeah, it's Iran that did it, right? Or who is it going to be? Is it the Ruskies? Huh? Is it China, the land of egg rolls? Is that what they're going to say? Oh, who is it? Who's the big nasty villain that they're going to blame it on? Meanwhile, the enemy's within, and they let upwards of 40 to 50 million in over the last 4 years of people that are not here to assimilate, right? The UN's army. Drones and shit. Any way they can get it. Any way they can get their end game. Taking down this country and depopulating.
So, just be prepared. Have stuff ready at your home just in case you know, because that would be most likely scenarios that, you know, there's travel restrictions.
Oh, travel restrictions. They like that
Things
too.
are kind of on the lockdown. People are in shelter-in-place scenarios and orders issued.
Yeah.
For weeks, potentially.
For weeks. Activate
while
the New
they
World
figure
Order
out bare
cops
minimum,
too.
you know, a few days, you should have preps for to get through food and water. And it could go on for weeks, and it could just entirely change things permanently. Right? Like this general was insinuating, saying that this could be similar to a 9/11 event, which did cause permanent changes inside the United States.
Yeah, more control over us, more surveillance.
But the country has been wide open, and we don't know exactly how many people are in the country
wide open.
that have bad intentions, like this guy that was previously let in from Afghanistan.
We got about 40 to 50
you
million.
guys can see here. Here's some more information on
that will let in
the situation that happened in D.C. a few days ago.
To show you, he was part of this CIA-backed elite Afghan unit, and this right now shows some details where they operated in Afghanistan, but also the vetting process. Supposedly, they went through biometric screenings, in-person interviews, which is very interesting. And Lochinwall's connection here, he was assigned to this O3 unit, recruited and trained by the CIA to fight against the Taliban. This group, also, Rebecca, known for their brutality and called death squads. So you take that last point there that I just said, right? That they're known as these death squads, quite brutal. And that this man also went through a one-on-one interviews so we understand. What's your takeaway there? Could something have been missed in that process?
Well, it's very disturbing, and this is such a tragedy. We're going to learn more, but I'm reminded that in 2011, an Afghan Air Force colonel walked into an office at North Kabul Airport and blew up 8 U.S. Air Force service members and a contractor. That was an ally. The risks here are just very, very large, and that's why I'm really glad the president is going to go and look at other cases. And
So it's very dramatic. It's on the news. It's dramatic. It doesn't matter if it's Fox or, as far as the dramaticness of it all, they're going to say about this and about that. But the fact is, they're not going to say. Are they going to say, Fox, that perhaps it's the government inside job? They do simulation, then they carry out, and they play the blame game. Communist networks are even worse than Fox. Fox is all right to me. I don't know. I don't watch a lot of news. I just catch clips every now and then from X, pretty much, or maybe that's about it. News articles. But the Common News Network's even worse about this, about propaganda. And NBC's way worse, of course. But the thing is, this is the drumming up the fear. It's Afghan. Remember that back in 2011, and did this, did that, did that. I mean, we know that the New World Order, that our government has been infiltrated, right, by New World Order commies. You got some patriots in there, but the tentacles, it's like a cancer. The tentacles are deep within. It's deep rooted, and it's about impossible to remove the deep state. It's just too firmly entrenched. It's in different places. I went over this. Universities, public indoctrination institutions you call school, It's even infiltrated the church. These commies, these New World Order POSs, these Luciferians are everywhere. And so, for anyone to be blindly believing that their government's got the best interests in them, that the police are here to preserve and protect us, you're delusional. You're delusional. The same government that has been so tyrannical during that scamdemic and still wants to be and is to an extent. And it's not I'm not saying it's because of whatever administration's in. It's been getting increasingly worse over time, all right? And one person is not going to stop it. You could put a president in there, a person in there as a president that means well, wants to do the best, but the enemies have circled the wagon, man. This is where we're at. And so now the question they're posing is America prepared for a wide-scale drone attack? And key military, I like how they put it, key military, and they're all dramatic about this. Let's cut the bullshit. They want to depopulate us. They want to control us. They want to have martial law, right? And if in the process they can get rid of us, well, all for the better for the deep state, right? Deagle.com, Georgia Guidestones. That still hasn't come 100% to fruition. They're behind schedule. I think they want to try to play catch up any way they can. So if they can do it with a massive drone attack and then blame it on some other country, big thumbs up, right? And just put it on all these news networks. You know, it's China it's the Afghans that did it. Afghanistan, third world country, launched a drone attack from within. Really? A country is supposedly so sophisticated with our surveillance. You got Big Brother everywhere calling up our arses with cameras and all this stuff. And they listening on all the devices and could surveillance you in your home through the routers and map it out where you're at and where you're walking with using a router. But yet, it's funny. The enemy is going to attack the Twin Towers and take it down with an airplane or two. Aluminum airplane. And, well, you got all these terrorist camps that are in the United States, but somehow we know about them, but the government doesn't know about them. It's funny how that works, right? Or if they do know about them, they don't care and they're letting it happen, so that they're just as guilty. And, well, they know that we possibly could be attacked by drones and attack our infrastructure, or, maybe knock out water, shut off the grid, cut the grid system that's frail for years on end, and they're doing nothing about it, right? And just blame it on the big bad boogeyman, and then call for martial law. Well, who has to be martial law? That means in lockdowns, you lock down prisoners. We already went over this. Yeah, but they'll blame it on someone else. Nah, the enemy. I've been saying this. The enemy's within. So be prepared. They could pull this off. They might not. If we get ahead of their story here and put it out there, and enough eyeballs and ears see and hear this message from different channels and stuff like that, they might have to do what they always do: just move the goalposts, switch them around, give us a new shiny object to get distracted by as they work on something more sinister behind the scenes. But right now, it looks like viruses are laid to rest for now. You could take off your muzzles, your little face diapies, your little sheeple out there. But now drone attack, massive, widespread, wide-scale drone attack is on the is slated. So it's on the table. So there's that. So yeah, stock up. Always be stocked up. That's what I got for you. That's what Patrick over here got for you. He needs change the monotone voice or something. But I appreciate him getting the word out there. That's what I got for you. Don't be a troll. At any rate, like, share, subscribe, or don't. At any rate, I'm out.